Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled.
I'm Batman.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me! Who's got you?
Dooby-dooby-doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Wonder Woman! Wonder Woman!
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
I'm Conor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. I was born in 1518 in the village of Glenfinnan on the shores of Loch Shiel. Now I am immortal.
I'm Captain Kirk.
I'm a doctor. But probably not the one you expect.
Welcome to the special Geek This Week's presentation. This is the Barbara Eaton I Dream of Jeannie panel from the 2016 Fanboy Expo. Barbara Eaton, known to fans across the world as Jeannie from I Love Jeannie, co-starring with Larry Hagman. Barbara Eaton talks about all the anecdotes from I Dream of Jeannie. She also talks about other career highlights in her career. She has been in such movies as the Hopper Valley PTA, Chattanooga Choo Choo, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. She's also been in other TV series, Hopper Valley PTA, and also had a memorable appearance in 5 episodes of Dallas, along with her former I Dream of Jeannie co-star Larry Hagman. So please sit back and enjoy this special Barbara Eaton panel from the 2016 Fanboy Expo in Knoxville, Tennessee.
I was joking with you. It's not going to happen.
All by myself?
All right. Everybody having fun yet out there? All right. Yeah, you can have a seat. Pick either microphone you want.
I'm going to stand up.
All right.
And that's
well,
perfectly fine.
Too.
If I can move, I don't know.
All right, love you. Bye.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
Do you need some help there?
Nope. I'm
All
fine.
right.
Always need help.
I know, that's what my wife says all the time. All right, we'll get this started. Anybody got any questions yet? Raise your hand, we'll come around to you.
Is this a phone?
All right, who's got the first question?
Hello, Ms. Eden. My name is Michael Palmer from Outlaw Renegade Nation, and I would like to ask you what the transition was like from having Larry Hagman to Wayne Rogers as Colonel Nelson.
Well, can you hear me? I don't think this is on. Is that on? Is that on? Yeah. Now it's on. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
There wasn't, they're two very fine actors, but very different. I had worked with Wayne before. We did a play together, same time next year, on tour.
Neil Simons.
You saw it?
I said Neil Simons.
Neil Simon, yes. And of course, Larry I've worked with many times, besides Jeannie. But they're both good actors, so it wasn't a huge jolt. It was a little bit, because I expected Larry, But Wayne was a friend, and I enjoyed working with him.
Next question.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
He was asking, do you have any of the outfits you used to wear?
Oh, I do. I have one. I don't have one of the original because they wouldn't let me have it. But I did a commercial for Lexus, the car company, and they copied the costume perfectly, and they gave it to me. So I have that one, and that's the one I wore in Vienna with President Clinton and Elton John. I don't know, it was on the internet a lot, so I don't know how much you guys know about it here, but in Germany it was on television.
Oh, we saw it.
Did you see it? Oh, okay.
All right, next question.
I have sitting to my right here the biggest I Love Lucy fan in the world, and she remembers your appearance on that and your catchphrase, "Oh, but yes."
Oh, but yes. And you. Yes. Oh, yes, I do. That was one, absolutely. First of all, that was the third job I had in Hollywood. So I was really nervous. It was a show that they did with an audience, and luckily I had a stage background. I'd done more stage work than I'd done film, so that eased me into it. But the most wonderful thing about it was Lucy. She was absolutely wonderful to me. As a matter of fact, I had had kind of a not so nice experience with another actress the week before on her show. And so when I came to Lucy, I thought, okay, I'm going to just be quiet. Not going to say a word, stay out of her way, be careful because this is a diva like the other one. But she wasn't a diva. She was just a good, good woman. And I came out of my dressing room and she said, "Barbara, you like that dress?" It was a costume that I was to wear. And I said, "Yes." I wasn't going to say no to anything. "Yes, it was wonderful." She said, "Take it off." So I went back to the dressing room and I took it off thinking, oh gosh, here we go, But she sat there with her assistant and she made it prettier. She put the sparkly things, all over it. And I couldn't believe it. She was just lovely, lovely. Couldn't have been nicer to me.
Put on the spot here.
I just want to say that we think you're a great actress.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. My mother thought that too. I have to go with him.
I'm Mike from Merritt Island, Florida, and while you were filming in Cocoa Beach, where was your favorite place to eat and why?
Well, I'm ashamed to say it, we did not film in Cocoa Beach. We went down there a lot.
There's even a street named after you.
I know. I've been there many times and we visited. And the same with Houston and NASA. We didn't really shoot it at Houston, but we did go there. And we met all the astronauts, and in fact, we were there quite often. They did second unit shooting in Houston. But I'm sure they did in Cocoa Beach with the cast. I think it's too expensive, to bring us.
So how was it like having to speak so fast on the Andy Griffith show? Because it looked like it was very tiring.
I'm sorry, how was it to what?
Like speaking really fast on the Andy Griffith show, it looked very tiring.
Oh, well, did she talk fast? I don't remember that. She said, "This is a nice little town." That's what I remember. This is a nice little town. I just thought it was a nice town. I guess I did talk fast. I don't remember talking. I didn't. Okay.
It was so easy she didn't even realize she was doing it. Right?
No, I guess it was the character. It does that.
You did a movie in the early 80s with George Kennedy and Joe Namath, Chattanooga Choo Choo, that my mother loved. But my question is in the last season of Dallas, you did a 5-episode run, getting revenge on good old JR as Leanne de la Vega. How much fun was that to reunite with Larry Hagman?
I got him good. Oh, I got him good. That was so much fun. But the first day of shooting was very strange because, first of all, they had me in an all-pink suit, a skirt suit. And I came out of an elevator. That was the very first shot they did. And Larry was out there and he said, "Oh, MJ." I mean, he said, "This is like I'm getting deja vu here." It was like I was coming out of the bottle. They didn't mean for it to be that way, but it was that way from his perspective. Yeah. That was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. Anybody else?
Oh, we're working with Albert.
I beg your pardon?
How was it working with the King Big All?
Oh, what a lovely, lovely man he was. Elvis, he asked about. He was very dedicated. He was a professional. He wanted very, very much to be a good actor, and he was. He played a half-breed Indian in the movie that we did, and he died. But he really did it well. The problem was he didn't sing a song in that movie. He didn't get the girl, and he died. His fans didn't like that. But I really enjoyed working with him. He had his daddy was there, and 3 of his cousins. At least he told me they were his cousins. I found out years later when I was being interviewed on the Larry King Show, and it was Elvis's birthday or something, and one of those men were on the telephone from, I guess, Memphis. And I said, "Oh, you're one of the cousins." And he laughed. He said, "You really believe that?" And I did.
On I Do, Jeannie, how long did it take you to do your hair that way? Was that actually your hair?
Well, it was the studio's hair. Part of it was my hair. But the big ponytail, that was, it took, to answer your question in order, it took about an hour to get everything pulled together. The braid was separate. The ponytail was like a little hat that they pinned. And I had to get used to that because it was very heavy and it wasn't too comfortable. But I got used to it. I guess I have a tough head.
Strong neck muscles too.
Right. Well, my husband says I have a tough head. Hard head is more like it.
I just want to say what a dream it is to finally meet you, and I wanted to ask if I got 2 questions. One is, how did you get the role, Jeannie, and what did you have any say in the show as far as creativity and all that?
I had carte blanche as far as my character was concerned and creativity, yes. But the show's production was Sidney Sheldon. He did everything. He wrote most of the scripts, and he was really the person at the helm. And how did I get the part? That's interesting, because I had been reading, there are, the Variety and the Hollywood Reporter, and I had been reading about this wonderful show, about the genie, the female genie in a bottle, and they were testing Miss Italy, Miss Syria, Miss Greece, Miss Turkey, all the Miss USA, Mediterranean, very tall, gorgeous brunettes for the part. And I thought, well, that's, leaves me out. And one day I received a script, and my agent called me and he said, "Did you read the script?" And I said, "Yeah, I did." And he said, "Well, good, because they made an offer and they'd like you to do this part. Did you like it?" I said, do they know what I look like? And he said, well, they must. They want you to meet Sidney Sheldon, at the Beverly Hills Hotel. So I did. I went down and we had tea. And that's how I got the part. But I'm sure there was more to it than that. I mean, he must have seen my work. I'd done a lot of work by then. I'd done many movies, and I had done another series called How to Marry a Millionaire. So I think he knew what he was buying.
Hi, Miss Eden. Do you ever get asked to do your signature blink and head move and all that? If so, would you do it now?
I'm happy to do it now. I do it all the time. Yes, I do. We do it. We come down to my desk down there. We take photos, and I do it constantly.
Would you tell us about Jeannie's bottle? Some of the history?
Jeannie's bottle.
It's right next to her.
Well, first of all, it was the Christmas bottle for the Jim Beam Company. It was a whiskey bottle. And they just bought just crates of them, I guess. But then they were hand-painted. They were all hand-painted. And of course, the bottle on the set was quite large, the one that I fit into. It was, they asked me, actually, what my favorite color was. And I said, well, at that time, it was purple. And I still like purple. So that's why they went with the purple and the pinks and the reds. And yeah. Anything else you want to know? No? Okay.
How do you get one? They're available downstairs.
Yeah.
Hi, it's such an honor to finally get to meet you. I've wanted to my whole life. I've loved Jeannie as long as I can remember my first memory. But I wanted to ask you, what was it like singing on I Dream of Jeannie when you finally got to sing? Because I know you're a singer as well.
Oh, well, I did that one time, didn't I? Yeah, I did that. That was kind of awkward. Because it was okay. It was okay, but I was much more comfortable singing in Las Vegas than I was on the set. Although I did that on the Baha'i Ya Habibi, that one all the time, yeah. But that was a little, Arabic ditty.
I was wondering if me and my mama used to watch your show all the time, and I was wondering, have you ever messed up on the show?
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Have you ever messed up on the show? Have you ever made a mistake?
Never. Never. Of course I have. Lots and lots of times.
Any in particular stick out to you?
Oh God, no, I can't think of it right now. I don't remember my mistakes. Oh yeah, that's right. I did. Well, one of the first shows we did, Gene Nelson, I don't know if you remember Gene Nelson. He was a dancer at MGM and then became a director. And he directed the first 13 I Dream of Jeannies, and he was very physical with his direction. And because he was also a gymnast. So he had me stand on the legs of the arms of this stuffed chair. And Larry was on a sofa that went sort of at a right angle, and was sitting there. And he had me standing, and then I was to jump, and then land on my tummy on the sofa. And we did it one time, and it was just fine. And then we did it the second time, and my upper teeth went right on his knee. He bled. I didn't. But I did have a chipped tooth, so yeah.
Yes, over here. First, kudos on the book, Jeannie on the Bottle. Read that, really enjoyed it. Background information on the show and autobiographical information. Loved it. Thank you very much for that. Number two, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I was overseas in Europe. My family would send me first-run movies because we didn't get movies hardly otherwise. One of my favorites was Your Mother Was a Combat Nurse. Can you tell us a little about that?
Oh, I love that movie. I had more fun. We went to Fort Benning and shot that. And my sister was my stand-in, which she'll never let me forget. Because as you know, it was paratrooper time. And a couple of times she had to be my double, and she wasn't too pleased about it. They have, I don't know how many of you know about paratroop training, but I knew nothing when I went there. I remember running with the guys because it's a mother, you know, that follows her son into the army. And my sister pulled me out and said, "Barbara, you're running like a girl. You know, like this. I am a girl." She said, "Well, run more straight because you look silly." Well, it was a comedy, you know. And the other thing was when I had to be pulled into a truck. I know they went over to Allison, that's my sister, and said, "Put on Barbara's clothes because we want to pull her into the truck and you look like her." And they did. She almost killed me. She did it. She got even. The other thing about that movie that was terrifying to me, and I didn't think it would be, is they have the towers. They have a short one, a medium, and a very high one. And we started out with the short one, and I climbed up, and you jump out of the towers, but you're hooked to a line, but still you're pretty high, you know. And that was fun. I had a good time with that one. And then we went to the middle one, and they offered me a stunt double for that. And I said, no, this is fun, I can do this. So I got up to the middle, and I looked down, and I thought, okay. I did the second one. The third one was really, really high. Not only was it high, but when you climb up, it's rickety, you know, it's wood. And the thing in the wind is making it go like this, and you can hear it. And by the time I got to the top, I turned around and I looked at the sergeant who was telling them, "Go, go, go," you know, off the tower. I said, "No, I think I'll use the double on this." I didn't do it. Scary.
What was it like filming on Genie with all the special effects and the disappearing and the changing clothes and all of that?
You had to have a lot of discipline. You truly did. Because when we did our blinking in and out, you know, now I think they do it, it's a lot easier. But we had to do everything physically, and we had to stand, for instance, if I blinked Larry out or into a stupid costume that did something to him, I had to just stand there like this and not move. Otherwise, the shot would jump. Sometimes they put a thing underneath my arms so it wouldn't get wiggly, but I had to really focus and stay still until they said action. And Larry had to change clothes really fast.
Barbara, I wanted to ask you about one of your roles prior to Genie when you made an appearance on the Andy Griffith Show, working with Don Knotts. Did Don Knotts ad-lib a lot of the scene as you doing the manicure on his hands?
That was Ellen Brown.
Ellen Brown.
Yeah. No, he did not ad-lib. He was just really, really good. He's a good actor. And as a matter of fact, I toured with him in Last of the Red Hot Lovers, and someone reminded me that I had been here in Knoxville with him with that play, and I had forgotten that. But that was a totally different character he was playing then. No, he was just a natural, yeah. Run!
What is the funniest thing that ever happened on the set of Adrian and Genie, or the funniest blooper that happened that was an outtake?
Well, I think the funniest thing to me, I don't think it was very funny for Larry, but I really enjoyed it afterwards. I had worked in a film with her. I did a couple of movies for Irwin Allen, and we had done a film called 5 Weeks in a Balloon. And there was a lion in that film. And so I had worked with a lion and the trainer, and the male lions I knew were not aggressive. They're well fed. They're not going to hurt you. The only thing you have to worry about is if they roll over and break your leg. You know, they don't know you're tiny and they're big. So I knew we had this lion as a guest star. I was to blink my pet in. My master said I could have my pet, but he didn't know it was a lion, you see. So the scene was set up on a sofa, like this. Larry was to be at that end of the sofa, the lion in the middle, and me here. So I went over to Larry and I said, Larry, you know, we have to make friends with the lion. He looked at me and said, I'm not going to make friends with any blankety-blank lion. And I said, well, you have to. If you're going to work with an animal, you have to let him. I'm not going to make friends with any blankety-blank lion. And so I went over and I let him smell my hand, and I scratched his ears, and he was a beautiful, big guy, but he was old. He wasn't a kid. So I sat on the sofa, and they put a little dish of raw meat by my side, and I'd blink, and they'd bring the lion in, and he'd eat the raw meat, and then he'd look at me, I'd look at him, and he got used to the whole thing. Then they brought Larry in. And I blinked. They put the raw meat there, the lion came in, ate the meat. They brought Larry in, the lion looked around at Larry and went, wow! Oh my God, he was loud. Larry was on the next set, but every man on that set left me. They broke the camera, they knocked the camera over. One of the sets was down, and I had this 800-pound lion in my lap. Actually, it was his head. He just came right over the sofa, put his head in my lap, and started to purr. I mean, he didn't mean anything. He was just expressing himself, you know?
Yes, earlier you was talking about that they were an actress that was kind of not nice to you. Do you want to share who that might have been?
No. Can't even remember her name. I will tell you what happened, though. She was someone I really idolized, and a wonderful actress. But I was miscast for the part. I definitely was. She was mentoring another actress, actually, at the studio club. That's how I know about it. And I think they had a fight, had an argument, and she didn't let the woman have the part. So they cast me in the part, and I was much younger, much too young for the part, and it was a hard-boiled, kind of part. And she walked out on the set, and I was, like my tail wagging, so happy to see her. And she walked out, looked at me, like this, turned around and walked away. She didn't say hello, goodbye, anything, not a word to me. And I didn't know what to make of that. And then the makeup man said, come on over here, and started doing stuff and muttering under his breath a lot to my face, trying to do something to my makeup. So I went out, and the director said, Barbara, I'm sorry, we're not going to have a rehearsal. I'm sorry, just hit your neck. This is the second show I'd ever done in Hollywood, by the way. It says, hit your marks, say your lines, okay? I said, fine. I came out, stood on my marks, said my lines. They said, cut, print, we're out of here. And that was it. It was very strange. It wasn't nice, So I just expected that every time I worked with someone else or a star. I thought, well, this is going to be what's going to happen.
Nowhere to go from there, right?
You betcha. You betcha.
Yes, Miss Eden, I can't believe no one's brought it up yet, but could you tell us about working on Upper Valley PTA? And was Jeannie C. Riley any kind of on-screen arts consultant or anything?
I never met her. I just loved her song. I still love it.
Any comments about making the film?
Well, the film was, Phil Borak was the producer of that film, and he did that as an independent movie. He raised all the money for it, and he made a lot of money on it, and I was so happy, because that doesn't happen often in Hollywood. And I had a great time filming it, yeah. Ooh, I didn't do that.
You need to blink again, okay? Too many blinks, too many blinks.
I didn't do it, I didn't do it.
There's a light switch right there.
Oh,
There we go. There we go. You gotta push it in front.
What was it like working with Roger Healy?
Oh, Bill Daly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, what you see is what you get. He is like that in real life. He really is. Well, I don't know. You know, that kind of thing. That's Bill. That's Bill. He's a doll. Lovely, lovely guy. I'm sorry he couldn't make it. He wanted to be here, but he's just tired. You know, airplanes are getting to him now, and he doesn't want to fly. Anybody? Anybody?
That's right here. I think this is going to be the last question because we've got to get you taking pictures of.
Oh, okay.
As a child, watching the last thing you ever done, was you satisfied by how the whole Genie ended and, you know, you had to stop singing to save you, and was that satisfied? I remember falling like a baby when that came out and, you know, y'all separated, but did that have an impact on you? Did you like the way it ended?
The way the show ended? Well, the show ended because we got married.
No, the movie.
Well, the movie, which movie?
The last movie, not with Larry Hagman.
Oh.
The other one. Yes, where you had to leave him in order to save him.
Oh, I don't remember that. Isn't that awful? I don't remember that. You mean it was a Genie movie? I Still Dream of Genie with Wayne Rogers.
Right.
Yeah.
The ending of that.
Oh.
Do you remember the end?
I don't.
It was so painful. So painful she had to block it out. PTSD.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, I think that's all.
I hated it.
No.
If you want a once-in-a-lifetime experience, make sure you check out the lamps that are for sale right beside Bar Reed and Stable. Again, make sure you go check them out. Here's I've seen your website, I believe, actually. Yes, GenieWalls.com. Once in a lifetime to get your lamp and get it signed by Jeannie herself, Bar Reed. Can I make you a round of applause?